This is the Daily Wisdom Podcast, TDWP, episode 48. Can you reach my friend, the miracle of undeserved grace? Hi, I'm Aaron Montague. There are days that seem ordinary when we begin, quite unassuming, moving at the same rhythm as countless other days before them, and then without warning, something happens that shifts the atmosphere. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. A moment breaks through the surface of routine and reveals something eternal hiding beneath the temporary. Today was one of those days. Today, I received a phone call. Not just any call, but a call from someone I had not spoken with in over 22 years. His name is Sam Piazza. 22 years ago is not a small space of time. That is enough time for lives to change and for identities to evolve and for victories to be won and battles to be fought in silence. That is enough time for people to drift so far apart that reconnections seem unlikely, almost impossible. And yet, today, across all of that time, across all of the life's twists and turns, his voice found its way back to my ear. And in that moment, something stirred within me that I could not ignore. As Sam spoke, catching fragments of lost time, filling in spaces that years had created, I felt familiar presence rise up, not just the memory, but meaning. It wasn't just nostalgia, it was revelation. It was as if heaven itself leaned into the conversation and whispered, "Pay attention. There is something here." And then it came to me, clear and undeniable, a song that carries a question more powerful than most sermons. Can You Reach My Friend by Helen Baylor. Now that song is not entertainment. It's a cry. It is a voice of intercession wrapped in melody. It is the sound of someone standing in the gap, asking God to do what only God can do. Reach beyond human limitations and touch a soul in need. It asks a question that echoes across time, across relationships, across broken connections and silent years. Can you reach my friend? And today, that question becomes personal. Because when I heard Sam's voice, I was not just reconnecting with a man from my past. I was witnessing something far greater than coincidence. I was encountering the undeniable evidence of grace, undeserved, unlearned, unstoppable grace. Still moving, still working, still reaching. Grace that does not require permission. Grace that does not consult your history before it shows up. Grace that refuses to let time erase what God has chosen to preserve. There is something profoundly humbling about that. Because if we are honest, many of us can look back over the last 22 years of our lives and identify moments where we were not at our best. Moments where we missed the mark, or where we drifted, or where we forgot who we were or whose we were. Moments where if life were based on merit alone, we would have disqualified ourselves from ever being used, ever being restored, and ever being remembered. And yet, here we are, still breathing, still standing, and still being reached. You know, the scripture tells us in Ephesians 2:8 that we are saved by grace through faith and not of ourselves. It is the gift of God. And that truth is not just theological. It is deeply personal. It means that every good thing in your life has a source beyond your effort. It means that grace stepped in where performance fell short. It means that God made a decision about you in your past that in your past could not even overturn it. And today, through a simple phone call, I was reminded that grace is not confined to church buildings or sacred spaces. It moves through everyday moments. It travels through conversations, and it shows up in the sound of a familiar voice after decades of silence. That is the marvel of it. Because grace does not just save, it reconnects. It does not just forgive, it restores. And it does not just cover, it calls. And somewhere in this world, right now, there is someone connected to your story who may feel forgotten, disconnected, or beyond reach. Someone who may believe that too much time has passed, that too many mistakes have been made, that the distance is too great to close. But today proves something different. Today proves that God knows how to reconnect what life has separated. See, today proves that time cannot outlast divine intention. Today proves that no one is ever truly out of reach when grace is involved. Which brings us to the question that cannot be ignored. If God can reach your friend, will he use you as the instrument? Because sometimes the miracles is not just that God reaches someone, it is that he chooses to do it through a willing vessel, through a phone call, through a message, through a moment of obedience that seems small but carries eternal weight. You may not realize it, but your voice could be that bridge. Your outreach could be the interpretation someone has been silently praying for. Your presence could be the confirmation that they have not been forgotten. And this is how grace moves on earth. Not abstract, not distant, but personal, intentional, and timely. So today, I want to take a moment to honor my friend, Sam Piazza. Sam, your call was not random. It was purposeful. It was timely. It was meaningful in ways that go beyond words. You reminded me that God's grace is still active, still orchestrating, still aligning moments and people in ways that only He can. You reminded me that relationships matter, that connections matter, and that no amount of time can cancel what God has decided to preserve. And to every listener under the sound of my voice, I want you to pause for a moment and let your mind settle on that one person. You don't have to search for them. They came to you. That name, that face, that memory, that is not random. Do not dismiss it. Do not delay it. Reach out. Reach out. Because you do not know what God is doing behind the scenes. You do not know what your call might unlock, what your message might restore, what your obedience might activate in someone else's life. And as you move through this day, Carry this truth with you, not as information, but as identity. You are a recipient of grace. Not because you earned it, not because you perfected anything, but because God decided to extend it. So now, extend it to someone else. Speak life. Show kindness. Make the call. And while you are building and rebuilding and stepping into the fullness of who you are called to be, invest in your growth with wisdom that transforms not just how you think, but how you live. Visit mx3motivationalbooks.com. That's mx3motivationalbooks.com, all one word. And get the books, but get more than one. Read them with intention. Share them with purpose. And place them in the hands of people who need encouragement, clarity, and transformation. Because when wisdom spreads, lives change. When lives change, communities are rebuilt. This is not just a suggestion. This is an invitation into something greater. Today was more than a day. It was a reminder. Grace still reaches. And sometimes it sounds like a phone call. This has been the Daily Wisdom Podcast, and I am your host, Aaron Montague. Have a blessed day.